and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Saturday the 17th of May. I am flatcapcallum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Right, I've got some more kindling to chuck on the fire as we're burning. Deary me, deary me. Friday, the results, no good again. So we came into this week off the back of 3 bad weeks, and we're having an even worse week this week. So this is heading to 4 back-to-back weeks unless we can do anything magical at the weekend. But yeah, the actual we're about £6 back this week of £54 outlay, so it's pretty poor stuff. I do think though, there was a bit of frustration with some of the way that the horses performed. I'm going to go through that in the results. As far as Saturday goes, I was expecting more. I've only got £12.50 outlay. I've got a 5-horse bet, and I've got 1 forecast. So that is my outlay for Saturday. £12.50. That is it. A menagerie of prices from 15 to 2 to 50 to 1. All right, let's do the review. So we had 1 out of 6 frame, which is obviously Pants. Sweet Reward. That did a bit of a solo, so rarely do those things come off. When they do, it looks very impressive, but not today. And that goes in the notebook as 1 for next time. And then Riot, interesting with Riot. I watched that race back a lot now. My first glance was like, what was going on? Like, it looked like Mark Wynne just wasn't riding it properly. Actually, when I've got on, I'd love to be able to actually see a head-on angle from it. I think if you watch that race back, that horse ran into trouble a number of times. So whether you would say that that's just the hubbub of a 22-runner race, or whether that's partly jockey blame or not, it looked originally on face value, I thought, is he run into trouble? But actually, as in deliberately, but I don't think that is the case. I think that horse was trying. And then he went for a gap, it wasn't there. It looked like he was going to go on the rail, and then I think he really didn't have enough space to get through, and then he was like, do you know what, this is done, in it. So I think we're unfortunate, because I do think that horse absolutely should have been much closer on merit. Definitely 1 for next time. Whether that's York or Doncaster, either of those I'd be interested in at the 7 furlongs, on decent, anything really from good to soft to even good to firm. I think we'll be alright. So that's 1 for next time. The Dasher Conway, and I said it is a 3rd one for next time, right? Sometimes it's so frustrating, right? So I obviously went through in the video last night all of the reasons why I thought this looked set up. And then the start of the race, the horse is hanging out the back. If you look at the history of the horse, every single time it runs prominently, it goes on to run a nice enough race and often frames. When it runs at the back, it doesn't do anything. It likes to go up at the pace. Some of these twisty-turny tracks like Kilbeggan, you really can't make up the ground. And particularly because they took out some of the jumps because of the low-lying sun, it meant it was a much more sort of faster run race. So being up with the pace was much more preferable. But that jockey's been on the horse enough times. Next time, I don't think there's a problem with the ability of that horse. They did not ride that horse to frame, despite the fact it went into 7 to 1. I mean, 16s when I put it up, it was 25s before that. The money came, but not the right money. So we've got 3 there I'm looking at for next time. Bowen Song wasn't good enough on the day. That was fairly, well, not okay, but that's just what it was. And then the one we have to mention here, Have Secret, that was nice run. That was 3rd. That was the only one we had a bit of a cheer for. And then Wajaha wasn't good enough, and I'll be leaving that one for a while. So 170 back from our 15.25 outlay. Let's just get on to Saturday and see what other zebras and camels and giraffes I'm chucking out for you. Alright, here's the main bet. It's got a bit late. I'll do my best to recall to you why I've put these in the bet. Okay, first leg, 205 at Navan. We're taking a flyer on Platino Bianco. So, nice name, Platino Bianco, ridden by Milo Malone. What an amazing name. So if you're watching, Milo, I'm sure he probably is. Well done. Your parents, whoever else gave you your name, it's a cracking name, Milo Malone. He's only ridden twice under rules, and both times on this horse, and both times down the field. So I'm not going to profess to know much about the jockey, and it's not one of these ones I'm saying to you, you've got to watch out for Milo Malone. Don't know enough about him. But from a profile point of view, the horse has been running over 5 furlongs when I think optimum is 6. I think actually Navan 6 looks good. I don't have any issue with the ground on the horse either. And yeah, so it's come down a little bit in the handicap mark. It's never really seemed to pull up trees, but when it has run credibly, it tends to be over 6 furlongs and tends to be on good ground, albeit it's potentially a bit versatile. And it's also, because it's dropped down a few pounds, it's now rated 60, and this is a 0 to 60 race, so it basically sneaks in as top weight. And sometimes it's helpful to notice these things around, is this, is it deliberately run down to get into a lower quality of race so the opposition is not as good? I don't know. It's a bit of a stretch, it's a bit of a flyer, but I felt 50s was worth playing. If it was 33s, I probably wouldn't even put it on the channel. I might have had a little interest myself, but 50s worth playing for the channel, so that's him. 215 Newmarket, City of York. It's coming down the handicap mark, and to me it looks handicapped to run well. Jamie Spencer's booked, and he's actually been in pretty good form the last couple of weeks. I'm trying to remember what else it was about that horse. My brain's a bit fried. It's brain's gone. That's in anyway. 255 Bangor, Fringle Dyke, which we have backed before. It's only a 5 runner, and he's bounced back from the Plumpton run, which was too bad to be true. This is the time of year where it gets going. It likes smaller fields, I think, really. That's what I've learned about the horse. Big fields, less good. Small fields, better for it. It's only a 5 runner, so risking it, we don't want a non-runner because it just makes the bet a bit more awkward. But I felt it was worth playing at 15 to 2. Just scrapes in. It's the lowest price. It's also the lowest value. 420 Newbury, Kingdom Come. I think sort of people would have that down as an all-weather horse, but actually if you look through the back history, it's run well on turf and on good ground. And so I think the market slightly overlooked it. It ran in the corresponding race, I think, 2 years ago, and was 3rd or 4th or something like that. Last time, I think you can completely forgive it. It was slow away when Dougie Costello was riding. Ross Orion's back on today. Ross Orion's been getting on well with this horse, so I think it'll be competitive. I think you can get 25s or something with Bet365 as well, but 16s was the fair price. And then the 430 Thirsk, Reed 8 to 1. Why have I packed that one? I don't know. My brain's completely gone. I won't chunter on, guys. Right, let's explain the bet. I put it in for a good reason. I just can't right this second think of it at the top of my head. Basically what happened is I was going to I've done all my form reads, going to make the video, and then we had a little bit of a coughing in the cotton kind of thing going on. So and it just seemed to go on forever. So I was about 45 minutes distracted from in between making video after finishing the form, and so my brain at that point has now lost a bunch of the content. So it was all ready to go, but just the reasoning has failed me right this second. Anyway, 10p each way Canadian, that's the way we're playing it today. So on the 5 horses, Super Yankee or Canadian, 10p each way, that's 520. And then 25p each way Trixie, so look for the underlined horses, City of York, Kingdom Come, Reed. They're the ones that are more value, more solid, is what I would say. So we've got 25p each way Trixie on those 3, so that's 720 in total between those 2 on the multiples. 50p each way single, Platino Bianco, City of York and Kingdom Come. And then, sorry, I've written that a bit squiggly, 65p, and this makes it, rounds it up. 2 times 65p win singles, Fringle Dyke, Reed, 1150. Sky are best for at least one of those races for an extra place. Otherwise, 365 Paddy Hills, 888 Udibet, Betway, Betfred, 1150. That's the bet. And then one of these I've got in a forecast. So the forecast for the day is 2:15 Newmarket, City of York with mythical guest. The favourite makes me nervous, but if these two can get past the favourite, then the forecast, obviously that's they could beat the favourite and they beat everything else, then they obviously get the forecast up. Oh dear, very tired. But the favourite's the one the one that makes me a little bit nervous. But because it's going to get backed in and it's going to be short, if they do beat it and they do come first and second, it means there should be a little bit of artificial value in the forecast, because if the favourite's not in the front two, then that should push the value up. I'm trying my best to explain, but my brain has gone. 50p reverse forecast. So that's each way. So either way round, 50p reverse forecast. Some bookmakers, you have to kind of search for the forecast option, and you click the button any. It says first or second. This isn't a straight forecast. We're not predicting which order. We're trying to get the first two past the post. So City of York and mythical guest. I rarely do straight forecasts, like forecasting orders. Vast majority of ones I do are reverse forecasts. There's a few other that was sort of potential in the forecast world, but this is the only one I'm willing to play. And yeah, obviously, I know people. I'll be saying about the favourite. Is it worth putting it in the TriCast or something like that? It's not something I do with the channel. It's the front two in the market a bit too short for me for that. It's not a terrible bet, but I certainly wouldn't do like combination forecasts with the three of them. Just you end up playing 6 different bets, and if it's the front two in the market, you'll barely get your money back, if at all. Right, that's it. And then Sunday, outlook for Sunday, likely to play Newmarket. Looks sort of my sort of gig, so we'll see how we go. Let's see, can we get something rocking and rolling this blinking weekend and try and turn this juggernaut of doom around? That would be excellent, wouldn't it? The last thing just to say is I'm just very, very humbled by all the lovely comments. I haven't been able to reply to many of them, but I have read every single one. And yeah, it's a lovely, lovely community of people. And I know there's always folk that they're not into that sort of stuff. That's fine. But there's a lot of really nice folk on here, and I really, really appreciate it all. Because it's as the channel's grown, obviously there's more people watching. The community does feel like it's grown, and people come in different, in and out. You don't hear from somebody for 6 months and whatever, and other people you hear from every day, and that's fine. And then as the community grows, there's going to be more and more people having a look because it's big. And so certainly by independent people on YouTube size, clearly there's the ones that are sponsored by bookmakers or racing channels or publications and stuff have lots of viewership, but as a one-man band kind of a guy, the viewership is decent enough, so people will stop in and then try and work out, why is everybody watching this drivel? I think that was a quote from someone actually, but but you can understand it, right? We had 4 terrible weeks, right? So if someone's only just popped in for a few weeks, they're looking at this, they're just going, what is everyone seeing that I'm not seeing? And it does make me chuckle inside a little bit. All right, thanks folks. I will see you in the next one. That is me. Bye bye.